I'm delighted to be here this morning talking to you. It's been a fantastic week meeting so many of you, and what an engaging, insightful conversation this morning. But it's really been a week full of these very interesting conversations, a lot of wonderful ideas that we are all going to take back with us. I know there has been a lot of talk of AI, both at this conference and pretty much everywhere else that you go. There is a ton of hype, but there are also a lot of expectations. And the excitement is real. In fact, AI is becoming part of our lives in many ways. When you look at the Amazon warehouses with robots running around, delivering parcels to you the next day or even the same day, that's enabled because of AI. Or when you look at self-driving cars, they are nothing but AI. But then you wonder, what about the enterprise? How is AI going to help us in the enterprise? And when we talk to customers, even at this conference, that's the refrain that we hear. Our customers are wondering, how is AI really going to deliver value inside the enterprise? How will my world change with AI? And that's the challenge we are focused on at Appian. What we think about is there's a big opportunity. How can AI really look deeply inside your business, understand how work really gets done, put a spotlight on where the problems are, where the slowdowns are, where the inefficiencies are, and then actually be in a position to do something about it, perhaps with AI, to optimize your business so that the entire enterprise runs more smoothly, more efficiently. That's the opportunity to reduce costs, to get better outcomes by eliminating delays, reducing defects that happen in your processes, and that's where AI is going to create value. So that's our thought process. Now, we've shown you numerous new AI features that we are launching. We are very excited about those. And then we thought, wouldn't it be nice to help you imagine what your world might look like when you start leveraging those capabilities in your own business? And then instead of another presentation, we thought, why not mix it up a little bit? So let's think about this fictitious company. It's a mortgage company. Let's call it the Rocky Mountain Mortgage Company. And let's bring that story to life. So my colleagues, Matt Hilliard and Megan Shablisky, they are going to help us bring this story to life. And Matt's going to be the Chief Operating Officer at this company, and Megan is the Chief Information Officer. Their company is struggling with some serious operational issues, and their board is asking them, can AI help us address those issues? And so they are exploring the use of Appian AI to see if that can really help them get through this situation. Now remember, in this fictitious scenario, they have access to Appian products that ship today, but also capabilities that are part of our vision, and then we hope you will have access to over the next year or two. So with that in mind, let's welcome Matt Hilliard and Megan Shablisky to the stage. Welcome. Matt, take it away.
Did you hear? They just changed the agenda for the board meeting. This is terrible.
Oh, for a second I thought there was a real problem. What's the big deal? They're making you present last minute?
No, they're making both of us present at the last minute.
Me? It's only a few days away.
Yeah, and you better be ready. I'm going to send all the hard questions over to you.
Why? What's the topic?
They want to know how we're going to use AI to improve the business.
Oh, that's not so bad. I've already got a great deck about all the cool things we're doing with generative AI. We've got this chatbot that answers questions about our vacation policy, and we just turned on AI summaries for the corporate email.
I get it, that stuff is cool, but I don't think the board wants to hear about real business impacts. I don't think email summaries are going to cut it. We're presenting together because they want to see how your team is going to help achieve my target.
I don't suppose that target was faster response times to vacation policy questions? Because if it was...
No, if you paid better attention to my status updates, you'd remember that I've got to find some way to reduce the time we close on mortgages. And do that while still handling increased volumes this year and with no extra staff.
So how do you want AI to help?
How should I know? I don't know anything about AI. All I know is we just can't march in there and say we're going to fix real business problems by summarizing some emails. Man, we're so screwed. There's no way we can figure this out in a few days.
Don't worry, I have something that can help us.
Really? What? What's an Appian?
It's Appian, actually. And if you paid attention to my status updates.
Oh, okay. I think I remember it's like low code or something.
It's a process automation platform, and we're already getting a ton of value from it. I think it can really help us with this board meeting.
Can it pretend to be me at the board meetings so that it gets yelled at and I stay home?
No, maybe they'll add that in an upcoming release. But actually, I think it can help us avoid the yelling entirely. See, it's got something called Process HQ. Process HQ lets us track KPIs on our core business processes. You can see here several processes we're already tracking. This gives us an overall sense of how things are going in real time and where we might want to focus.
Oh, this is really nice. I knew mortgage origination was a problem for us, but man, look at all that red. Is everything just getting worse?
Most things. Our error rates ticked down a little bit, though.
It's still way too high. It used to be lower, but we told people to go faster, and only thing that improved was the error rate going up, which is not an improvement. So anyway, we got to find some way to get those closing times down without having everything fall apart around us.
Sounds like this is where we should focus then.
Yeah, and it's great to have this kind of data. We can at least show the board we have a clear view of what the issues are, but I still don't know how we're going to attack this problem and actually make an impact.
Well, let's drill into this process. There's a lot more details we can go through. So here we can get those KPIs as well as our audited process. This lets us see where areas are slow and not flowing as we would expect. With this tool, we could investigate the discovered process or conformance and cost metrics. But right here, there's AI-powered optimization suggestions, and that seems like a better place for us to start, given our limited time.
So automate underwriting with AI agents. I mean, okay, agents, that's definitely cutting edge. What part of the process is it suggesting we change?
This part leading up to the final underwriter review. It's a key part of our process. Those two nodes in the center are human work, where someone first reviews the submission, and then the underwriter does the final review. Process HQ is saying everything really grinds to a halt with that submission review.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I know there's two major things that slow us down there. There's a lot of dead time because the applicants send us a ton of files and they make mistakes or forget things. And then our employees have to do all these manual work to check everything, cross-check with other systems. And this should sound familiar because I brought this up with you guys 2 years ago, and at the time you said, oh, it's impossible to automate. The documents are different every time, and there's so much human and judgment involved. So here we are again. What's changed?
It's true. We couldn't help you with this before, but now that we have Appian AI agents, there's a lot more we can do.
And that to speed us up?
Yep, and Process HQ is going to show us that too. There's details here about the recommendation, as well as some impact projections. We wanted to be faster and more accurate, right?
Yep.
This has surfaced that with the latest AI, we can automate that error-prone manual document verification in the workflow. And these types of evaluation patterns, data errors, and risk factors in these verifications are great candidates for agents.
Oh, wow, this is really great. I mean, this is exactly the kind of rich data analysis that we can help us sell a new project to the board. And getting this board presentation right is important, but I'm actually starting to get excited about the project. I mean, it would be amazing if we could deliver these improvements. Let's get to work.
What we just saw is how Process HQ provides you with unprecedented insights into where and how your organization can make improvements. And in fact, it even provides guidance on where and how to implement AI. It also creates a business case for you so that you can measure the actual outcomes and compare those to your predictions. It's all about identifying bottlenecks, delays, inefficiencies, defects, and then being able to actually do something about it. AI is more than an experiment or a novelty. It's important to create practical value with AI. And so let's fast forward a couple days after Megan and Matt have their board meeting, and let's see if they got the green light to use Appian AI to improve their business.
Hey, that board meeting went really well. This Appian Agents proposal really saved us, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, people are really excited, but...
But what?
Okay, people are excited, but I'm worried about this agents thing.
What about it?
I've been trying to read up on this, and there's so many different ideas out there about what agents are and how they should be used. We're not an AI company. Are we really going to be able to figure this out?
We're not a software company either, but we've successfully built a ton of software, including AI tools.
Yeah, but it's one thing when I know you had your AI innovation team that was trying things out on the side. This is a critical business process. I'm worried we're going to be in over our head trying to use this stuff.
I understand where you're coming from. I originally had a lot of the same concerns myself. I don't want to put my team in a bad position. We're on the hook for making this work. But Appian is making this really simple for us. Let me show you Appian's AI Agent Studio. This is Agent Studio. Right away, there's a lot of pre-built agents for common business challenges that we can start with, or just use as a reference. This was a huge help to my team as they got familiar with agents. Then when it came time to configure our agent, we started here in the tools. Tools are what agents use when trying to solve problems in our process. There's knowledge tools and action tools. Knowledge is going to be the documents and data we've connected into our data fabric, so our agent has our specific enterprise knowledge. Knowledge like guidelines to train a new employee, as well as our database of appraisals. All the information that we need to work on critical business processes.
Okay, but there's also that back and forth, right, where we have to go back with the applicant and third-party credit agencies.
Yes, that's where we start to use our action tools. Through actions, agents can make system calls to those 3 credit agencies or use our income verification provider. Then maybe most importantly, it can go back and ask for more information from the applicant.
Okay, so you're saying that it reads over whatever the applicant submitted and then it decides which of these tools to use based on what it sees.
Yep, it will read over the submitted material, spot things that are missing. It can also note incorrect submissions, like a bank statement that's too far in the past. And the best part is it starts looking the moment an application is received, so issues are cleared up immediately. We're not waiting for an employee to pull up an application and check things over.
Okay, wow, this could really help us achieve that closing time target, assuming that this agent is going to know how to use these tools you're giving it.
We'll give it instructions to ensure it does.
Instructions, is that like a computer program?
Nope, there's no need to write any code. We'll just explain its instructions in ordinary language, pretty similar to how you'd explain it to a random person. But unlike a random person, they already know a lot of basic stuff about lending and mortgages. The head start comes from the baseline training the agent receives, while the knowledge we configured allows it to take into account our specific data around lending and mortgages. Now, we just have to explain how we want it to act in the instructions. We'll tell it how to evaluate the application, grab necessary policies, and utilize our historical information in data fabric.
Okay, well this sounds really helpful, but what about the larger picture? Over the years, we've set up a bunch of different systems and databases around our lending functions. We can't start using these new agents unless they fit into that bigger picture.
Of course.
Okay, well, you say of course, but I've seen these big software projects. There's a quick demo that gets me excited, and then months pass, and I say, well, what's going on? And your IT guys say, well, we still have to integrate it into the system. The board's expecting us to move fast.
You're right. It's tough to tie together enterprise systems, but all the relevant parts, including agents, are already in the Appian platform. It's going to be really easy. Remember when I showed you this process model? Since Appian is orchestrating this for us, all we have to do, swap out the user input there for our agent, and we'll be good to go. Easy.
Okay, that is really easy. Maybe it's too easy?
Too easy. A minute ago, you said it was too hard.
Look, I've got a lot of worries here, okay? It's really cool that we can plug the AI in and you're gonna give it these tools and instructions and it'll be able to do the right thing, but we have to comply with all these laws and regulations, not to mention our own corporate policies. Can we really trust that to an AI that has trouble counting how many R's are in the word strawberry?
It's certainly true we can't completely trust AI, but that's where the Appian platform really helps us out. For example, I mentioned Appian's orchestrating this process. This means that if we want to be sure something happens no matter what, we'll have Appian do it separately from the agent. So see here, you can see that before we ever run the agent, we're going to verify something called the NMLS ID.
Right, that's the nationwide mortgage licensing system that we have to confirm whether mortgage originators are federally registered or state licensed.
There you go. Just like we wouldn't leave this up to an employee who might forget, we're not going to leave that up to the agent either. With Appian, we're going to make sure it's done first, so we always stay compliant.
Oh, that's a relief.
And a lot of the tools we're giving the agent are actually process models too. So for example, when the agent goes to request a credit report, it's actually going to run an Appian orchestrated process that makes sure that Appian has already consented to the credit check, or the system will go and get them to sign the consent form.
Oh, great. So that part won't be up to the AI.
Yes, the AI will just say, hey, I don't have their credit scores yet. Let's go get those. And then the system will make sure the right things happen in the right order.
Oh, that's amazing.
We can also provide more control here in governance when the agent is making that decision. Appian lets us decide how much autonomy we want to give. So just like with a new employee, you might initially want to review everything that they do, especially if it's customer facing or irreversible. Then as you get more confident and the agent is making the right decisions, if we want, we can increase that autonomy.
Oh, and I see here you can also configure who it talks to if something goes wrong. That's also like a new employee. You know, we'd say to escalate to your manager if you don't know what to do.
Exactly. In our case, we're always going to have the human underwriter making that final decision. It would be crazy to give today's AI full autonomy, but Appian's powering this mixed autonomy approach for us.
Wow, this is great. I can't wait to see the result of this project.
Glad you're excited again.
Yeah, but I also literally can't wait for the results, not for long. You heard the board, they're not in a patient mood.
I know, but don't worry. These Appian projects go really fast. We'll be live before you know it.
So as we saw, Appian agents, they are able to reason, plan, explain their work, they can comprehend information. Most importantly, they can take actions. However, they always respect guardrails and guidelines and instructions. And you can always have visibility to their actions through auditable logs and traces. We believe that while there is a lot of hype about AI in the market, you can get practical, real, serious value from AI today. And you do that by bringing AI to work, by deploying AI into your business processes, where the actual work in your organization happens. And you do that with agents that can think, they can act, and then they can learn, so they continuously improve over time. So hopefully we were able to help you visualize how you might be able to use these capabilities in your own businesses to make your businesses even better, run smoother. With that, I really wanted to thank Matt and Megan for being such great sports and bringing this to life for all of us. Thank you to all of you for spending the time with us today, and enjoy the rest of the conference. All the best.